each one of them go down to different parts of his face. So, for example, on the far right, I do an S curve that goes down and connects to his cheek, like that. And I do the same thing on the other side that connects down to his cheek. So, and I start with the reverse. So I start with like a swoop in, and then I swoop it out to follow the edge of his eye. And then on the inside, I do the same thing. I swoop in, and then reverse down, and basically take it to a point almost right in the middle in between his eyes. And I do the same thing on the other side. So basically I'm just making like a frame for his eyes, right?
That's from the eyebrow, like that eyebrow.
Yep. So swoop down, and then connect in between his eyes. So it ends up looking like, basically like that when you're done.
Run through the ear. Run through the ear. My bad, folks.
Well, it doesn't give a camera. I mean, yeah, it should air with it.
Oh,
Well, it doesn't give a camera. I mean, yeah, it should air with it.
oh.
That sit on his muzzle. So something like that. And there's so many details on Gary. I mean, we could talk about scale placement, we could talk about overlap of the scales and how that works and all kinds of things, but we might run out of time. What are we missing? You may know. This is a trick question. You might not know. These drawings are looking great, you guys. Oh my gosh. What are we missing?
Shading?
Not shading. We're missing a piece of structure that's very important to Gary's thing.
Pit organ?
Pit organ. Very good. He's got they're called pit vipers because they have special organs that sit on either side of their nostrils that sense heat. They don't sense heat through their eyes, even though in the movie we use the eyes as like a sign of what he was being able to see. But the actual organ are these two little pits that sit on either side. There's these five scales that sort of form a hole, and they sit right on the side of his nose. It looks like a
That's
beauty
really
mark,
good.
but that's his pit. He's a pit
That's
viper.
amazing.
So just kind of put a little circle there for that.
Did you have to do like so much research on snakes?
So we had experts come in. We our method of making movies, because we find it's really important to take what's real and then add on top of that. If we make something up, it seems less real, so we want to like make them believable. Only a couple other little things. Connect a line between the middle of his eyes about to the top of his left nostril. You don't have to connect them. Sometimes it looks better when you don't. But it helps support his muzzle to the rest of his face a little bit. There's more to do, but
I
that's
mean,
sort of
yours
the
at least
framework.
looks good. Mine looks like, come on.
And then, lastly, let's put in some scales. So one of the things about Gary is that he has two sections of scales on his face. He has the scales that sit on his muzzle, and then he has the scales that are on his cheek. And the ones that sit on his muzzle are almost like bricks, right? They kind of touch into each other like this. But his scales on his cheeks overlap each other. They're like shingles. And so the ones on his face we don't have to so much care about, but the ones that are on his cheek we want to start drawing those in. And they're basically just a series of ends, rounded ends. And when you do their pattern, there's sort of like an N followed by an N, like a shingle, and then on each peak of a shingle is when you start the next one. So they're like this, almost like shaker style shingles.
Okay.
And so you do that on his cheek, kind of up where his mouth corner is, and you can just kind of loosely plop them in. They don't have to be, and you kind of put them at an angle. You kind of of scattershot them here and there, just wherever you want to put them, because this isn't like a final drawing, this is sort of just like a gestural drawing. But you kind of just put them up on his cheeks, and then if you want, you can kind of start doing the brick structure of his face scales, and just kind of loosely put those in. You can kind of just imply them with lines. If we were drawing him to finish, we would go in and really, really nail it, but we're kind of just doing a quick and dirty version. And then the other thing that we didn't do with the last group, which I was sad we didn't, is there are some contour lines on his eyelid, on his eyebrows. We actually call them lid brows, because they're eyelids and brows. And they're just little construction lines, scale lines that sort of follow the curve of his eyebrow, that just add a little bit of like shape to the lid brows up there. And then once you have that, that's kind of Gary. You can start putting his body in. I like to connect his neck into where his sort of his cheek and his mouth meet. And you do just like a little reversal line there, do a little reversal line next to it, and then you can go nuts. You can start like, you literally can start making his body, just making a tube of wherever you want it to be. Sections of it can come up here, come around here, you can put another one like right there. Like, you can kind of fill the page with his body, however you want it to be. Or just have his head, however you want to do it. But, and that's pretty much how you draw Gary the Snake. There's a couple extra things that we do, but like for the most part, that's it. And that's him smiling, there's him sad, there's him frowning, there's him laughing, there's him all kinds of different stuff. But that's the guy. That's the guy. So, yeah, so can we look at these drawings? I mean, oh my gosh, you guys, these look amazing. This is nuts. Look at this. Look at it. It's so
I think
good.
mine's like a dragon, but you know, we're working, you know.
Very good.
Practice
I
makes
tried.
perfect.
You got
Practice
the
makes
shading in
perfect.
his mouth. You got the shading in his mouth. Some shading. That's crazy. Very
That's good.
Very good.
well done.
Let's see it.
How'd I do for some catch-up work?
It's very nice. Very, very nice. Well done, everybody.
Gary.
Yeah, you can also shade in inside of his mouth, like this one here and your sisters. Or are you guys, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they're
okay,
siblings,
alright,
yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? This is my cousin.
I'm like, I don't know him.
Yeah, I don't know this guy. He just follows me around. He actually can't communicate. So anyway, yeah, okay.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
So much
How to
for
keep
coming
safe
to
for
this.
today.
It's so fun.
Yeah.